25 years of his career working on the ground at fish hatcheries and producing fish to be stocked in all the public waters around the state. In 2015, Tommy stepped into the administration as the assistant chief and is supervising at that time all of AGFC's fish culture responsibilities. In 23, Tommy was elevated to his current role as chief of fisheries. He's an exemplary leader of this agency and has the trust and respect of everyone he works with across the state. And Tommy, when you flipped that valve yesterday, thanks for not getting our feet wet. Appreciate it. Come on down. Thank you.
Instead of going all the way back to my seat, I'm going to call on Mary Beth Hatch from here to present our next awards.
Good morning, Commissioners, Director, and the honor to say the first Madam Chairman. We are honored to be here today to recognize our AGFC Schools of Conservation Leadership in the Education Division. This is so exciting really for us because a little over a year ago, we asked, could we do this? And now we're saying, look at what we did. And it's really exciting to be here. So we had 21 schools that went through this process with us. And today we're here to recognize 13 that earned that designation. So we will call them up one by one. We'll get your picture if you'll shake hands with the commissioners. And if you'll just hang out afterwards, our photographer, Mike Winthrop, will get your photo outside as well. So. We have a plaque for you as well as a banner that will hang in your school. And then these schools that also earn this are receiving a prize package. We went back and forth on kind of what to do with their incentive, if you will. And so we determined a prize package would be the best thing because they actually hold this designation for 3 years. And so this equipment or this gear that they choose will help them sustain this recognition for the next 3 years. Our first up, the Deer School District, if you'll come on up. What's exciting about Deer while they're coming up, I'll tell you, our staff in North Central, Lauren Cannon, Brad Savage, Heather, Trent, Matt, that team, they really recruited heavily in North Central, and Deer is a K-12 a district, and they've earned this designation this year and did an incredible job with that. DeWitt Elementary School. We're honored to have DeWitt with us today and working this year. One thing I didn't mention, they've agreed to also be a mentor school this year to other schools that are going through the designation process. Happy Hollow Elementary School in the Fayetteville School District.
Great job. Congratulations.
We had a great site visit at Happy Hollow. We actually got some media attention that day with a local news outlet, and Happy Hollow's also agreed to be a mentor school with us. And even more excitedly, they got to hire their first, what is the title of your outdoor?
Outdoor education facility.
Outdoor education facilitator for their school, so that outdoor education will continue to be implemented for every student. Izard County Consolidated High School.
Congratulations.
The day we did Izard County's Phase 3 site visit, they just happened to be doing a prescribe burn on campus with their emergency management preparedness class, which I send to Luke Naylor and Garrett Duggar to show that this isn't just happening on private land or in our areas, it's actually happening on school campuses as well. They're an incredible example of what that looks like in a smaller rural school district. I want to go ahead and recognize, because it's the same team that's up here, Izard County Consolidated Middle School also went through this designation process and earned it as well on their own. Let me get you that one too.
Thank you for being here.
John L. Colbert Middle School in the Fayetteville School District. Their administrators couldn't be here today, but an incredible resource that pushed this with the 3 schools from the Fayetteville School District that went through that. Justin Keene, who you've already heard from previously, that serves on our Teacher Leader Council as well.
I'm gonna come back again.
LM Goza Middle School in the Arkadelphia School District. I have to say this every time about them because I brag about them and our team can testify in almost every presentation we do. Not only was LM Goza not utilizing any AGFC programs or classes, the entire school district wasn't. And so Michael Ankton, a 7th grade social studies teacher, decided to join our Teacher Leader Council and then decided to encourage his entire campus to take on this initiative. One thing we loved when we did our Phase 3 site visit, everyone on the entire campus, including the principal, was wearing camo. It was an incredible day, and they've taken it, and now he's already, 10 years ahead probably on this year's next phase and how they're going to keep doing this work. Lincoln High School. Lincoln is an incredible example, almost a model school that gets to offer this to their students already. And so many of you may recognize Haley Robinson, which also serves on our Teacher Leader Council as well. And Lincoln has also agreed to be a mentor school this coming school year.
I don't know if you knew that.
We're good here?
Oh, what am I doing?
No, you're fine.
Mount Judy School District. Honored to have Mount Judy here. We got to do their site visit at the same time as we did Deers, as they share some educators. One really awesome thing I get to say now that Mount Judy's up here is their virtual coordinator for the district, Shelley Tomlinson. I'm not exaggerating when I say this. Makes the best fried pie I've ever had in my life. She's a dandy. If you've never met her, she's pretty amazing. But she actually has cooked up fried pies for everybody that's here today. And so thanks to our foundation, everyone, when you leave here out in the lobby, there'll be a fried pie waiting for you, because what better breakfast tomorrow morning than a fried pie?
Mary Beth, I don't believe that these folks sitting up here have ever experienced those fried pies before.
Well, they're waiting in the lobby for
Great,
you after
thank
you're done here. So. Pinkston Middle School in the Mountain Home School District. Many of you probably recognize Freddie Pinka. He's been an Outdoor Adventures National Educator of the Year. What I didn't mention with DeWitt, Lindsay Beaton is the current Outdoor Adventures Educator of the Year, but Pinkston, this isn't their first year to enter into outdoor learning and education, and they really are a model school and will be a mentor school for us as well. Oh, I gotta say, Steele Smith is here, Principal Smith's son. He is actually going to serve on our Generation Conservation. He'll be one of our student ambassadors this year. Sherwood Elementary School.
Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, guys. Good to see you.
Sherwood, another example of not participating too much or maybe even having the opportunity for a lot of our programs and classes and absolutely blew it out of the water. They were one of the most exciting schools when we did our site visit to share about our Introduction to Hunter Education, our K-5 resource that we partnered on with IHEA. And we're honored to work with them this year as they'll be a mentor school as well. SOAR Academy in the Fayetteville School District.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, sir. Congratulations.
This one was near and dear to my heart. Justin made sure that those students had an opportunity. SOAR is actually the K-8 alternative learning campus for the Fayetteville School District. And when I say they blew it out of the water, they did. And we're excited to continue working with them.
All right, last time.
And last but not least, Valley Springs High School. When we did our Phase 3 site visit, students, of course, were involved, and one young man really got engaged, and at the end actually decided to apply for our student leadership opportunity. And Logan Dodson, will Logan be a senior? He'll be a junior at Valley Springs, will also be serving on our student ambassador team as well.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, congratulations. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, Director Shonrock, not so fast. It is actually Lauren Cannon up next for a staff presentation,
I was
followed
just
by.
setting up the podium for her.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Lauren Cannon, please come to the front and let's hear about the 2025 summer internships.
All right, Commissioners, Director, Madam Chairman, thank you guys for giving me just a few minutes this morning to brag on our interns that we've had this summer. I talked to you a little bit yesterday about the program itself. We actually have 3 different types of interns this summer, and I have one of each of those representatives here today to speak to you. I do have a presentation with this. There we go. And so if I can, I'm going to start with our Hutton intern. Hutton interns are actually high school students, and that's a partnership with the Fisheries Society they are either placed generally with the Fisheries Division or Education Division because these internships have a fisheries focus. So if I can ask Jarvis to come up here, he is going to be our first presenter.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jarvis McCray, and I'll be talking about my internship here, working as an Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. But first, I wanted to tell you all about myself. I recently graduated from Jacksonville High School with a 4.25 GPA, which earned me to be salutatorian of my class. And I've also been blessed to be able to play baseball, and I was named all conference in baseball this year, and I did that by batting .410, having a .410 batting average. And I competed in competitive bass fishing where I had 3 state appearances. And this fall I'll be attending ASU Three Rivers to live out my dream of playing college baseball. But enough about me. I'll tell y'all about my internship here. First, this job has been filled with hands-on experience, just the learning and opportunity to connect with people and nature. One of my highlights was from the 3-day fishing camp at the Nature Center, where I got to see the love of fishing develop in these kids. And it just reminded me a lot about myself, which is what drove me to apply for this internship in the first place. Another impactful moment was helping Arkansas Game and Fish Commission with goose handling. This was a hands-on experience, and it really created a new respect for the research and care that goes into wildlife management for me. Handling these geese were not only fun, but it was an experience that not a lot of people get to do, so I enjoyed it a lot. Finally, I spent a lot of time shadowing my mentor and his coworker, Mr. Clinton and Mr. Maurice, through pond inspections and promoting Arkansas Game and Fish ponds to the community. I learned what all goes into Arkansas's natural resources to keep them healthy and accessible. It's not just field work, it's also communication, it's outreach, and being able to promote these wildlife ponds to the people and help them connect with nature. So in conclusion, every experience this summer, from camps to field work to just enjoying nature, has taught me more about teamwork, leadership, and being able to see the bigger picture of conservation. And I just want to say thank you for this opportunity, and thank y'all for listening to me.
Well said.
Thank you, Jarvis. Our next presenter is from our traditional internship program. I believe we had interns placed in 4 different divisions through this program this year. And so they're all over the state doing all kinds of different things. And I have Ms. Carson, if you would come up for your presentation.
Good morning, everyone. Like Ms. Cannon said, my name is Carson McFatridge, and I am not going to be able to live out my dream of playing college baseball, so go ahead and lower your expectations. But I am super excited to be able to share just a little bit about my internship experience this summer. I'm originally from Searcy, Arkansas, and currently attend Mississippi State University, where I'm studying wildlife fisheries and aquaculture, and will graduate with my bachelor's degree in December. So this summer, I've been able to work alongside Ethan Lum, the habitat biologist out of the Jonesboro Regional Office. And his job as a registered forester one of his responsibilities is actually to oversee the implementation of management plans on the timber stands located throughout the region. And as a wildlife student, I have not been able to practice my forest measurement techniques. So I was super excited that my internship project this summer would start with me being able to cruise my own timber, taking DBHs, calculating basal areas, identifying tree species, and then learning how to implement that and create a management plan. So through my project, one of the things that we discovered was the justification for the reclassification of some of the stands located on the W.E. Brewer Scatter Creek WMA. Currently, their AWAP classification is listed as lower slope forest, and going forward, they will be considered Crowley's Ridge Sand Forest, which is a relatively new classification. And this will overall help us make better management decisions and identify some of those conservation species of interest, making better decisions for the ecosystems and sustainable forestry for generations to enjoy. So outside of my work in the Habitat Division, being located in the Jonesboro Regional Office, there are lots of program coordinators that work out of that office. And so one of the experiences that I wanted to highlight was the opportunity to work with our DMAP coordinator and go on a site visit, working with a private landowner and discussing the opportunities that landowners have to actually implement projects on their own personal land. This one in particular was to see healthy deer herds or a healthy deer population on his property. And then in the afternoon, we were able to actually go back to the regional office and meet with members from Arkansas Hunters Feeding the Hungry. And this gave us the opportunity to discuss some of the ways that they are working to combat food insecurity across the state, one of which is actually implementing a program where they are taking harvested donated venison and turning it into snack sticks to distribute through the backpack program. And I think that it's really important and impactful to see that the way that the agency isn't just impacting and working with the members of its constituency that are made up of hunters and anglers, but really any Arkansan that can benefit from our state's vast natural resources. And this kind of ties into the importance of public perception. As a wildlife manager, we know that nothing that we do is possible without that positive public perception, and so investment in these programs long-term really is beneficial and impactful. And so I hope to take that knowledge and then also the field experience that I received this summer and have a successful and well-rounded career in natural resources law and policy. But thank you everyone who made this opportunity possible, and I can't wait to tell others to apply next year. Thank you.
Great presentation, Carson.
Okay, last but not least, we have one of our scholarship interns. As I mentioned to you all yesterday, part of the junior and senior level requirement for these scholarship recipients is to do an internship with us. And so Heath is here to talk about his experience with his scholarship internship.
Good morning, commissioners, director, and staff. This internship has offered many benefits to not just me, but to the agency itself. Opportunities like this create qualified candidates. Because let me be the first to tell you, college did not prepare me for this internship. And to all you teachers out there, I promise I do pay attention in school, okay? College teaches you the why and the what to wildlife management. Why we do what we do, what animals are we focusing on, what the history is, but none of that really matters if we don't have the how of wildlife management. This opportunity has given me hands-on experience, and it bridges the gap between science and practice through funding my degree and working in the field. But something you may not have considered is this internship benefits the agency as well as the public. Every weekend when I go home, my dear grandma asks me, "What have you done this week?" And I'll say, "Well, we planted food plots." And she'll say, "Why?" And I'll explain to her we're creating food and cover for quail and waterfowl and dove. And as I'm explaining this to her, she begins to understand the process of what we do. Because the fact of the matter is, not everyone knows what we do. In fact, I was having a conversation with one of my friends the other day, and I told him I was doing a quail survey. And he said, "Well, what are you doing, asking them questions?" I said, "No, I'm trying to figure out how many there are." And so opportunities like this act as a sort of public outreach. Opportunities like this have a sort of one-on-one connection that maybe your social media managers can't replicate. These are internships, they're not only training us, but they're educating the public casually, one conversation at a time. So thank you so much for having me up here, and I hope one day to be working for you. Thank you.
That is the last of our presentations, but I would like to ask, so we actually have our internship wrap up this afternoon. And so I actually did have one more slide, if we can put that back up. If I could have all of the interns that are here for this afternoon, I would like you all to stand just so they can, the commissioners can see how many we have in the room.
Wow.
And as the slide shows, this is our next generation of conservationists. And so I thank you all for your time. And Director, I will turn it over to you now.
Lauren, great presentation, and to all the interns, thank you for your service, not only to the agency, but to the state of Arkansas this summer and to our natural resources. And I hope that I see every single one of you with an AGFC patch on your shirt someday.
Lauren, thank you. That was phenomenal. And to you award winners, And to all of you who stood up, Lauren, make sure you pass around a pad this afternoon and get all the phone numbers of these folks, okay? Because I have a feeling that what Chairman Duramus just reflected is hopefully true. And, to Jarvis and Carson and Heath, thank you so much for your hard work and presentation. Very impressive. Jarvis, I know that you're going to go play baseball, and I know that you like to handle geese. And when you hit those two-a-days or whatever y'all do in baseball, I just want to remind you that fitness on golf courses does not involve chasing down geese. That might be slightly illegal to do. So just relish your experiences and tell others about it. And when you do see that goose out there, let them know that, hey, I've handled one of those before. So good morning, Madam Chairman, and welcome to your first commission meeting. And on behalf of the entire staff, we're looking forward to working with you and as you succeed throughout this year. And Commissioner Anderson, welcome. Looks like we got your name tag done and all that kind of stuff done in a whirlwind last few days. Welcome to the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. You're 1 week into this new position and you're still here. That's really cool. I appreciate that. And in that 1 week, Commissioner Anderson managed to get the governor over here in 1 week. Man, I'm telling you what a future we have. I'm excited about your contributions, big things to come for sure. And our senior leadership enjoyed spending time with you Monday. Thank you for committing time in orientation and visiting with our senior leadership people. And we're looking forward to working with you as well. I'd also like to welcome Bridget Corbin. Bridget, stand up. So Bridget this is her first commission meeting, so be easy on her, okay? She is the new administrative assistant for the directorate. Bridget, welcome, and thank you for your help and support. And very importantly, happy birthday, America. We began celebrating our 250th anniversary as a nation just 13 days ago, and this celebration will continue all year until we reach 250. So keep that in mind. But also, as much as we like to celebrate, our thoughts and our prayers are with those families affected by the recent flooding of the Guadalupe River in Texas over that very same weekend. So in celebration, there can be tragedy, and let's just be mindful of that. Yesterday, many of us in this room had witnessed history at the Joe Hogan Hatchery, founded in 1928 and was reopened. And our exciting Legacy Lunker program was launched. Hats off to Ben, the Fisheries Division, the Operations Division, the Construction Divisions who worked long and hard on this project that we all dreamed would come true someday. And I'd like to also thank former Director Booth for his vision in challenging the organization to move it forward and getting it done. This program is going to have a huge impact on bass fishing throughout the natural state. In other news, just a few days ago on Sunday night, July 13th, the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission regional office in Jonesboro was burned completely, destroyed by fire. Fortunately, no personnel were in the building at the time, but several employees came down to do whatever they could do to assist, and some of them stayed most of the night and all day Monday. To those folks, I want you to know that your AGFC family thanks you for your steadfast dedication, and also let all of AGFC and the public know that we're going to recover from this loss. We're going to emerge stronger, and we're going to emerge more nimble because of it. Since our last gathering in Camden, progress has been made on several fronts. In speaking with Chief Hatch just days ago, over 21 schools have already made application to qualify for the Conservation Education Pilot Program that was announced by Governor Sanders earlier in June. And Chief Mary Beth is confident that we're probably going to garner far more interest than the 30 schools initially targeted. A couple of weeks ago, the AGFC conducted a successful public update meeting to address our progress at Lake Conway. And even more success has started since conditions have dried out slightly enough to get those mulchers back in the lake and getting those boat trails mulched. And friends, we're still on plan to finish this project within the next 3 years. That same week, I was able to crash in on a meeting with our research team, led by Corey. And I was very impressed to see the endeavors that they're working on and undertaking. One little known fact is that much of our good conservation and habitat work begins with sound research. Very important aspect of what we do. You may recall some statements from the last update meeting about some changes to some of our infrastructure due to heavy rains and high water. I'm pleased to report that we've repaired the parking area at the Spring River boat launch near Hardy, Arkansas, and progress is being made to water control structures at both Tri-County and Grampus Lakes, as well as the Jim Hinkle Fish Hatchery on the Spring River. A couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now, July 5th featured the annual Elk Festival in Jasper. The energy was very high at this festive event. It was on a Saturday, and this event culminated with some of the attendees actually being successfully drawn for a highly coveted Arkansas elk tag. Very excited to play a role in that. You know, this agency depends on sound financial management. I'd like to personally thank Chief Emily Shoemate and all of our team in fiscal. This department has worked tirelessly in both closing out FY25 and auctioning in FY26. Just think about this thing. Now, in the last couple of weeks, this team has had to wind down the year, stop, count, repopulate, and wind it up all over again. It's very important to note those people. I'd like to give them a hand. In the enforcement division, Cadet Class E-125 has just a few weeks remaining in training. So far, there are 15 cadet candidates still in the class, and we're hopeful it's going to be one of our largest graduation ceremonies that this agency's ever experienced, that will put 15 new wardens. We're hopeful, fingers crossed, but it looks like it's going to happen so far. In addition, our enforcement team successfully conducted Operation Dry Water over the weekend of the 4th of July. 118 game wardens contacted 1,900 vessels over that holiday weekend. During that time, only 140 citations were issued, and over 350 warnings were given, including 10, we did have 10 boating while intoxicating arrests. Pretty small, really, as you consider the number of boats that were on the water over the 4th of July. I'd like to thank all the officers who took time out of that holiday weekend to participate in that operation and to keep our waters safe. And just 2 days ago, at our 11th annual Enforcement Awards Luncheon, we congratulated a lot of award winners. And I'd like to especially give thanks and recognition to Game Warden David Foray, who was awarded 2025 Game Warden of the Year. If you ever get a chance to go to that award ceremony, I encourage you to, because it gave me a glimpse into the character of the individuals who wear that badge. These people are indeed special, and congratulations to those who earned awards. And then looking downstream, August is National Shooting Month, National Shooting Sports Month. And in support of that, our shooting sports leadership team is going to be conducting training for new air rifle coaches in early August. This is one of the most rapidly growing segments in the shooting sports industry, and it's resulted in communications in this state alone with over 1,000 coaches from our field staff. On the archery front, our outdoor shooting sports under the leadership of Chief Jose Jimenez has scheduled 11 upcoming basic archery instructor courses in the next few months. Since June 1, in just about a month and a half, Jose and his team have trained over 50 new coaches in this sport. And then just last week, I was blessed to spend a little time with our wildlife management division. This division is mission critical. This team is led by Chief Luke Naylor, and they had a very successful meeting, and I was very energized after I met some of the folks there to see the sparkle of excitement and dedication in their eyes. No wonder they're successful. Thank you, Luke. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is coming out in August to the public is a book called River to Ridge that's produced by our communications department. It's kind of like a field manual, and it profiles every wildlife management area in the natural state. Exciting. A bucket list for all of us should be to put the date in this book when we visited those WMAs. I think that would be cool. Every employee is going to get a copy of this book. So swing by Comms, pick one up. They will go on sale to the public on August 1, and there's a QR code that will be launched with a press release, as well as will be on our website announcing how you can get a hold of one of these things. This is a keepsake. It took 5 years in the making, and I'm very proud of our comms team for getting this done. Personally, I'm honored to interact with the employees of this organization every day. The knowledge of the team right here in this building and throughout the state gives this agency very strong bones that I think will continue to ensure great success. And likewise, I'm honored to work with this strong group of commissioners, which selfishly, and since you're my bosses, I'm not just saying that. I think it's true. I believe this is the strongest group this commission has ever experienced in the past. I'm honored to work with you and thank you for your support. Madam Chairman, this concludes my report.
Thank you, Director Schoenrock. Now, before we move into our committee meeting reports, I sat in Rob Finley's chair last year, and J.D. Neely sat in this chair. And there were many times where I would pass J.D. Neely a note on the notepad saying, J.D., you forgot to introduce this person, you forgot this. Don't forget to introduce your wife. So today, there's somebody in the audience who is my husband, Joe DeRamus, and he is sitting right there in the middle, and I forgot to mention him at the very beginning. I'm very glad you're here, Joe. So now let's go into our committee meeting reports. The committee meeting chairs will deliver reports from the July 16th meetings. First, we have Rob Finley, chair of the Regulations Committee. Commissioner Finley?
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Regulations Committee had met yesterday, two discussion items. Eric Noss presented on the Arkansas.
Hey, turn on your mic.
Is that better? Oh, there we go.
Here we go.
So we'll start over. Regulations Committee met yesterday. We had two discussion items. Eric Noss presented on the Arkansas Trout Tournament Information Program and the improvements being made to that. We see great things coming with that, and excited to see, hopefully, as technology becomes available, more and more folks will participate. And then we had the Red Letter Day with Jeremy Risley, who I'm really proud of. I've known him most of his life. And where he's going with our bass program. So as he presented on the Legacy Lunker program, the new Trophy Black Bass program aimed at providing angler trophy-size bass to catch in Arkansas lakes. This should fuel everyone, young and old, to bass fish. There were no action items, no new business, no old business, and Madam Chair, we were adjourned.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner Finley. Next, Commissioner Tappan, chair of Property Management Committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Property Management did meet yesterday. We had two discussion items. Thomas Baldridge from Searcy presented on the Arkansas Prescribed Burn Association, its history, goals, and challenges. It was inspiring to see all the volunteer hours that are being implemented on the ground for improving prescribed burns. Sid Munford with the National Wild Turkey Federation and working in conjunction with the NRCS presented about opportunities to restore native bottomland hardwood forest stands on these easements enrolled in the agricultural conservation easement and the WRE easement programs. There was one action item. Jake Dunn presented an action item for the inventory removal award and sale of a service weapon to retiring Lieutenant James Pennington. The committee gave that item a unanimous do pass. There was no new business and no old business, and we were adjourned.
Thank you, Commissioner Tappan. Next, Commissioner Adams, chair of the Education IT-GIS Communications Committee.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. The Education IT-GIS Communications Committee met yesterday. I think that's a mouthful for the last time.
Mm-hmm.
We had one discussion item. Lauren Cannon presented the agency post-secondary education opportunities, and I just want to say how impressive the presentations were today. That's not easy to get up here in front of a bunch of people that you don't know, and speak like that, and everybody did a great job. And I'm very impressed with the program and the things that the education group are doing. So thank you for that. We had no action items, no new business, no old business, and we were adjourned.
Thank you, Commissioner Adams. Commissioner Jones, Chair of the Personnel and Governance Committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Personnel Governance Committee met. We had one discussion item. John Marks presented an update on the agency's legal matters. One action item. Landon Aaron presented an action item for updating the procedures that govern the commission committees. The committee gave this item a unanimous do pass. There was no new business. There was no old business. We did have executive session. An executive session was held to discuss personnel matters, but no action was taken. Then we adjourned.
Thank you, Commissioner Jones. Lastly, the Budget Committee, which I chair, we had one discussion item. Emily Shoemake provided us with an update on the financial status of the agency. And we had two action items. Randy Brents presented an action item for a budget increase of $500,000 for a U.S. Forest Service grant to help fund the next iteration of the Conservation Incentive Program. The committee gave this a unanimous do pass. Kevin Sontag presented an informational update on the recent fire that destroyed the AGFC's Jonesboro field office. Staff also presented an action item for a budget increase to demolish the field office and remove the building from inventory. The committee decided not to proceed with the minute order at this time and asked staff to continue navigating the insurance settlement process first. There was no new business, no old business, and we were adjourned. Okay, we'll now cover the business items of this morning's meeting. First, we have Lieutenant Colonel Jake Dunn. Let's see. You have the floor.
Good morning. I'm here to seek approval for inventory removal, award, and sale of the service weapons for retiring Lieutenant Jim Pennington.
Okay, any questions, Commissioners? All right, this requires approval from the Property Management Committee. Commissioner Tappan, was this approved in committee?
Madam Chair, the item was approved.
Okay, I have a motion to approve. No second necessary. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank
All right,
you.
and any opposed? The motion is approved. Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel. Next, we have item 6B, which is a budget increase for the U.S. Forest Service grant. Mr. Randy Brents, you have the floor.
Good morning, Commissioners. Just a little background again. Back in September of 2024, we applied for a $2.5 million grant through the USDA Forest Service's IRA Forest Landowner Support Initiative. We were awarded that grant in September, and we signed the paperwork with the USDA Forest Service in January. Those funds were frozen within a week or two, and we were notified in June of this year that those funds were available to deliver to landowners. This funding directly supports the Landowner Cost Share Program for 3 conservation practices for landowners across the state: prescribed fire, invasive tree removal, and timber stand improvement. We're asking for $500,000 budget increase this fiscal year to our budget, and we'll be budgeting the remaining $2 million in future fiscal years. And I do want to make the key point again that these type of grants typically require an 80-20 match ratio. We applied for a waiver and we received that waiver, and we were waived of the state match requirements. So that saved the agency $625,000 on the match requirement. And I'll take any questions if you have them.
Okay, any questions for Randy? Okay, this did run through my committee, Budget Committee, and it was approved. So I have a motion to approve this request. No second is necessary. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, any opposed? The motion is approved. Thank you, Randy.
Thank you.
Lastly, we have Mr. Landon Aaron coming up to give a presentation on committee restructuring.
Good morning, everyone. Yesterday we had a discussion about modernizing our committee structure and the procedures with that. This will tie our current practices of committees to modern uses of them, make it a little more efficient for business for you all, and then also kind of tie those committees to our agency strategic plan. So what we're going to do is reduce from 7 committees down to 4. Those 4 committees would be budget and property management, regulations and resource management, public outreach, and then personnel, governance, and enforcement. So this is an internal policy, no 30-day comment period. So this, if approved, would be effective your next committee meeting in August. We had good discussion yesterday, but I'll take any questions.
All right, questions for Landon? Okay, this requires approval from the Personnel and Governance Committee. Commissioner Jones, was this approved by the committee?
Unanimous to pass.
Thank you, Commissioner Jones. I have a motion to approve the request. No second is necessary. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We have no new business, no old business to be brought before the commission today. Commissioner Jones, is there a need for executive session?
No need.
All right, no need for executive session. Before we adjourn, I know normally we go around individually and, share some thoughts. I'm not going to call out anybody individually, but anything anybody wants to say today before we adjourn?
I have a few things.
Bill,
First of all, I want
I'd love to hear from you.
congratulate you, Madam Chair, for being our leader this year, and we're very excited about that. I know you're going to do a fantastic job. Other things with the service awards, congratulations on those, because this agency is all about staff and what we have, and I've never been more proud. I'm going to my third 3 years now, and the staff here is absolutely unbelievable. The enthusiasm, the desire, what y'all do every single day, and you don't really do it for money. You do it because you love Arkansas and you love the conservation, from our education to our game wardens to fisheries to wildlife to everything. I'm just very, very proud of everybody about that. Congratulations to the interns too. And that Lunker Bass program, Jeremy, I've never seen a more excited presentation. Where's Jeremy? It was excellent. And I'm looking forward to catching that 10-pound bass. So great job.
Well said, Bill. And yes, the Enforcement Awards Banquet was this week, and this is the first one that I've missed, and I was so sad to miss it this year, but I heard that it was fantastic, and I hope even when I'm off the commission, maybe I can make it up and come next year. But thank you to all of our wildlife officers, and I'm so glad that you all were recognized at this banquet. So Lieutenant Colonel, thank you you and your team for putting all that together. Anyone else?
Madam Chair, I'll just repeat one of the things that the director so adequately and wonderfully put out was yesterday was a red letter day. Mm-hmm. Not just for Tommy Laird's 35th year anniversary. That's pretty incredible to have that kind of commitment. But to all the fisheries team, Ben, I know Chris, you started this years ago, that project and the amount of effort that's been put in by communications, by real estate, by project management, fiscal. I could just go on. And it was incredible to see just how awesome a facility that we have delivered to the fisheries of Arkansas for the people of Arkansas. And one thing that these educators, these interns should walk away with about, they didn't get to see that debut and ribbon cutting yesterday, is this efficiency improvements in that plant, that fishery, that hatchery, will return 517 million gallons back to Arkansas by not being as consumptive as our old process. Ben, that was incredible. Just what an outstanding day. Thank you.
I'm glad you touched on that, because conserving water is a hot topic all over. And I know that yesterday I was talking to some folks who came in that were looking at our program and saying, wow, this is something that we need to be doing. So well done, Tommy and team.
So, Madam Chair, I'll try to close this out unless somebody else has something, but I want to say this. I just finished 5 years going into my sixth as you were last year, and I'm to brag on you. This will be a monumental year for the Game and Fish Commission. Not just because you're the first lady to lead and chair this commission, but if you watch Anne Marie, it has nothing to do with anything that she's been here 6 years. It has nothing to do with it. You watch, she's the only person I've ever seen. When she gets up next year, you should be part of Missing Persons in Little Rock, because you know everybody. Everybody. And you look at it, you go, how do you do? But if you watch throughout this year, every person at the podium loves Anne Marie because they know Anne Marie. They know her heart, and they know how special she is. That says so much to the leadership and where we're going for the next 12 months. It is what's exciting of what she's going to bring to the commission, and we're all excited. We talk about it, how excited we are to work with her, because it's going to be fantastic. But watch the care, the love, every person, top to bottom. She knows them. And that's encouraging to me, but everyone else. But I pay attention to that. I recognize that. You never see anybody come up. They could bring somebody up from the hills of Pea Ridge and come up here. They'd know Anne Marie. So with that said, I congratulate you for that, because that's a monumental task, and I'm excited for the next 12 months that we get to serve together. One last well, but it'll be always a friendship that'll never die, and one of my most rewarding friendships ever. But thank you.
Thank you, Rob. That's very kind of you to say. And, reflecting back beginning this year, I've gotten a lot of messages this week just congratulating me for assuming my role as chair of the commission, but also, yes, being the first woman to chair this commission. It's truly an honor. But there's been so many people on this journey with me along the way, and you all have encouraged me and lifted me up and taught me so much. And over the past 6 years, I feel like I've grown so much. And what I'm most proud of anything, is all the friends that I've made, not just sitting at this table, but also out here and beyond these walls. So thank you for that. And I love all of you, and I look forward to this year. With that, we are adjourned.